I wanted to ask you how a series like this, one that has so much to say about the journey to uncover the truth, as well as the truth we choose to face or sometimes ignore, may have disrupted your thinking and beliefs. Was there anything specific that you gravitated towards that you felt the most change within you from, whether it was an action of your character, how your character observes their surroundings, such as the case with Slappy, or a larger theme of the show?
I think really quickly for me, I, what I gravitated to most from my character's perspective is that he just was unwilling to compromise. And
Hmm.
even in the face of adversity and potential consequences, he stood on all 10 and was like, no, this is what I believe in. And that's something I think that would transcend whether you're an actor, whether you're a viewer, whether you're in the 1960s or if you're in 2024. That's a aspirational quality.
Yeah.
And the same with my character. He developed morals. I say my character is the guy who knew that the Rosa Parks event was staged
Mm.
and didn't want to tell nobody. He knew about Claudette
Mm,
while everybody was talking about Rosa Parks, and he was the guy who was saying it, but nobody would believe him
mm,
or wanted to go with it. He was shunned for that until later you start to see him have success once he got back in the club.
Like, listen to him.
Right.
Yeah, and started listening to the things he had to say. He learned how to communicate what he had to say.
I think the battle internally that Reggie was having, with the tasks that were given to him by his boss, Shell Gordon, I think that was kind of like the biggest disruptor for him once it started to really bleed into his life and the things that he, may have cared about. Whereas, of course, Cleo is a colleague, a friend, and then she, ends up becoming almost a sister to him.
Hmm.
And there are certain lines that I feel that he didn't want to cross, wasn't willing to cross. And I think those were kind of like the biggest disruptors for Reggie for sure.
I know we're just about out of time. I wanted to ask about finding the language of your characters. I love how, Reggie is whistling during his character intro, or how Platt says lines like, I don't pee on marked trees, or the humor rhythm of Slappy throughout. What was your greatest entry point into understanding how your characters spoke, carried themselves?
I think for me, real quick, Reggie exists in this underbelly of Baltimore, trying not to be seen, trying not to be heard, but still execute. And I think the just the smokiness and mysteriousness is kind of was my entry point to Reggie.
Mhm.
yeah. And with Platt, with Ferdy, he sort of had to teeter on both sides of the fence, but I think he's truly authentic to his blackness, to be completely honest. So, you know, that was that was something, sideburns, they helped quite a lot to sort of like plant myself in this space visually.
Sure.
And then Alma, right? Really like the script was the
Mhm.
Bible for really putting us in a place where we could believe our surroundings. And they did such a great job with the locations and with the costumes and with the cars and all of that stuff to get us in that element. I think right before we started shooting, we got playlists. So I was listening
Mm.
on my jobs. I was listening to playlists from the time period. So that really helped.
I think with me, I mean, the character was created for me.
Mhm.
Uh, and then I consulted, produced. So I think mine is just through life experience of being probably from that part of Black culture that Black excellence don't want white people to see.